Basketball fans, what is up? And welcome to another episode of the All Basketball Podcast, where debates often take place. Once again, it's your host, Maurice, and welcome to another episode of Carolina Got Something to Say. Houston fans, Florida fans, the Gators, 2025 national champs. Congratulations to them. Walter Clayton Jr., most outstanding player. And we're coming to you. Got the homeboy Henri on right now, and Mike should be joining us later. Coming to you on April the 9th, 3 days after the national championship, where you had a final score of Florida 65 over Houston 63. A lot of exciting stuff in the game. You had people getting dunked on, people getting hung, almost getting dunked on. Clayton Jr. getting contained for so long. I mean, it was pretty good game. Exciting game on the edge. I mean, because obviously it's so much on the line. Championship. I mean, it's all out. You had good shooting from Will Richard, 18 points. Mainly in the first half. Saw him play at Woodward Academy. Elijah Martin coming up with a big shot down the stretch. He almost had another poster dunk this game like he had against Auburn, but kind of got partially blocked, got hung. Crowder, another good performance with 19 points. Off the bench, it was Francis. I mean, two big dunks, the one over Thomas Howell in the first half. Whew. And then he got a nasty tip dunk, caught it with two hands, finished it with one. You don't see too many of those these days. So a bunch of exciting stuff. Then at the end, came all down to it. Emmanuel Sharp thought he had a good look. Clayton Jr. came flying through, recovered on the screen that was set on him, and he couldn't even let it go. He bounced it. He let it drop to the ground to avoid it being blocked. But if he would have touched it, it'd been a turnover or travel. And I think it was Condon or Howe who dove on the ball, and that was it. Florida wins, coming back again from double digits to in their third straight game, almost double digits in that one, but coming back against their third straight opponent to win the national title. Just crazy stuff. Henri, initial thoughts on how it went down, and just how it went in Florida's favor and not so much in Houston's.
Yeah, I mean, Florida hung around, and like you said, they had made comebacks before, and so Houston, let them hang around, and that's when Florida can be the deadliest is when they're hanging around there. So, but at the end there, I just think that Houston just made some bad plays, especially on the last two possessions, where you have a turnover, dribbling off your, well, it was actually a good defensive play because the guy, he put his hand in and it was like went perfectly on the ball and knocked it off of I believe it was Sharp's leg, to go out of bounds. Yeah. So, but then then the next play, of course, Florida hit one or two free throws. But then that last play, I think that was what was surprising to me, especially coming out out of a timeout. So they had a chance to talk about everything, and to not get a shot off, like the coach said, that was definitely disappointing. But I give credit to Florida's defense on that because one thing I noticed, like, who was it, Cryer? Yeah, so the goal was to get Cryer the ball. And they got Crowder the ball, and he was going to go to his right. And so when he started going to the right, the big man was right there. So he didn't expect the big man to step up. And when he did, I think, it caught him off guard. And so he found himself in a double team. So he had to, quickly, get the ball to Sharp, and then it looks like Sharp was intended to do a pump fake. I guess he didn't think that. He looked up like, oh man, it's Clayton, and flying at him, and looked like he intended to do a pump fake, but he ended up off his feet, and that was it. So I give Florida credit, for making the defensive plays there at the end. So, but on one hand, being a Duke fan, it was kind of good to see Houston choke. So it was good to see them choke at the end. So, I'm glad to see that. On the other hand, though, with Calvin Sampson, 69, and it's not like you always get a chance, to go back, to the be in the national championship game, to the finals, even if you are the favorites, it's not like you just easily get back, every year. So I don't know if that was it, his best chance or not. So time will tell.
Yeah, may have been they definitely have something to strive for next year. I mean, I know Roberts isn't going to be there. Cryer shouldn't be there.
Excuse me.
I guess Uzan can come back. Seemed like this guy, I think Tugler was a freshman. I mean, if the guy's going to leave or transfer, but like you told me, they got a good class coming in. I know one of Master P's son. I don't know if it's Hersey or Percy. I have to look at the roster, but he's on that team too. He didn't play. I think he transferred in from if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if he may have went directly there, but because Master P was going to play it, he was going to play at Houston at one time too before things went differently for him, obviously. But I guess the crazy thing was, like you said, Sampson said it was incomprehensible they didn't get off a shot. Houston didn't get a shot on his final 4 possessions, which is crazy. Like you said, the one and the 2 most noticeable ones was Sharp off the knee when Richard got his hand in there, and then the Sharp was open. I mean, he was deep, but I mean, Clayton managed to get through. Like, the play worked, even though he said he went to that side, and I don't know if that was a decoy and throw it back to the other side. The play did work, but looking at it from a hindsight point of view, why didn't they go quicker? I mean, what was it, like 17 seconds left and they had the ball, right? So let me get the play-by-play here. I think it was about a good 17 seconds. And
yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because
I think the coach was expecting them to go quicker.
Yeah, like you gotta go, because at least with what we know with Houston, I mean, even if you go to Juwan Roberts, I mean, Tugler fouled out, but I assume the other guy, Francis, in the game. You may get a tip dunk. You may anything like what you do best is be physical, crash the boards. Put a decent shot up there, and maybe you get the rebound and put it back in. At least you get overtime.
Exactly, you're right.
But to all out go for it all. I mean, it's rather ballsy, rather gutsy. But I mean, if you do hit the shot, I mean, it's up there with Chris Jenkins when he beat Carolina. I mean, for Villanova, I mean, it's definitely a moment, but it turned into like a nightmarish ending for dude, like to turnover and then to not even get a shot off. You have to get a shot off. I mean, it's almost inexcusable. You have to.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You have to get a shot off. So yeah, Mike,
even if it's contested.
Go ahead, Henry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, you're right, man. You have to get a shot off, even if it's, contested. I don't know, that double team, it doesn't matter, but to not get a shot off, and especially when you have 19 seconds left, or 17, you said, that's right, 17 seconds left. It's not like you had like 2 to 3 seconds, and you got to go full court, and it's like a lot of pressure, and so you couldn't really get a shot off. You did, and you would, I guess, try to keep it up, but with that amount of time, yeah, it's just, that was disappointing to see that they couldn't get a shot off.
Yeah, because it's almost like
Straight out of the timeout.
Right, because looking at Houston's history, I mean, when Akeem Olajuwon and Clyde Drexler were there, you okay? I'm like, with in '83, with Akeem and Drexler on the team, I mean, dude, Lorenzo Charles, I can't remember who shot the ball, but dude almost got the steal, but then he just shot like from way deep, and it was short, but everybody just got caught watching. You can't hear it, go out and come back in. He dunked the ball in, like, and then for this to happen, and then just for them to, I think they got to the Final Four the year before that, something got beat by, may have been Georgetown. Like they was there, but they never could break through and get to the final game. Then once they get to the final game, you have that happened. Like, it's like, and it just might not be meant for old Samson. I mean, it's just the way it goes sometimes. I mean, he was in Indiana, he was at Oklahoma too, right?
I think he was.
I mean, got caught up in some violation stuff. Redeemed himself. Didn't go well in Indiana, but he's been doing a pretty good, gritty job at Houston these past few years. But they just, I mean, grinders galore. I mean, and then I just don't think I think Houston could have put the game away early in the first half. Maybe if Florida would just turn over the ball like crazy, whether it was Clayton Jr. or Condon or Howe just traveling. I mean, if they would just shot better, probably could have blew the game open. But Richard did come back with his threes, but when the team was turning the ball over, even though they were dead ball turnovers, and they're not shooting well, if you can just shoot well, you probably can blow them out of the water. But Jawan Roberts, that's not the move on the post, especially him going 3 for 12 overall. Like, that's not. This guy trying to dream shake before Olajuwon was even doing the dream shake. I mean, Olajuwon wasn't the same player in college. I mean,
it's tough, and I know, they got a great recruiting class coming in so far, the number 2 ranked recruiting class. At the same time, though, however, like, I don't know if he plays freshmen a lot, so will a lot of those players on that great recruiting class be coming off the bench? Will he trust them enough to start? So I think that's a concern too, because it could be another, if he's not trusting those freshmen like that, it could be another 2 to 3 years to get back to that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're talking about he even older at that point. Then I mean,
exactly, yeah.
So, Mike, Houston didn't get off a shot. 2-point win for Florida. Clayton Jr. woke up in the second half. I mean, he had some, like I was telling Henry when I opened the show, he had some big dunks from both sides. I mean, one almost from Elijah Martin. He got hung on it though. Then the other guy, Francis, for some big dunks, first half, second half. What'd you think of the game?
Well, first I didn't watch it. I didn't watch much of the game, to be honest. Yeah, I just saw when Florida, I guess, had a comfortable. Houston had the lead, and then Florida came storming back, right? So yeah, it just seemed like the refs did their job, meaning they kept the game close. Like, they don't want to see a blowout, right? Unlike the women's game, that game was over. Everybody. But they kept it close. They kept the calls going towards the team that was behind, and it kept fans in their seats. And then they got down to the nitty gritty, and then one team just had enough, and it was just it was a great defensive game too. I mean, Houston's going to clamp you down. You got to work hard to get your shot off against them, and Florida had to do it as well. So I think it was a great game.
Okay, so you saying for entertainment purposes, the refs, because I'm trying to think the second half began and who tacked up a whole bunch of fouls? Was it Houston or was it Florida?
It must have been Houston then, the team that had the lead.
No, it was actually Florida because remember they got a tech. They got you didn't. They ended up getting a tech. I think that might have been first half though. Then actually the interesting thing is the game should have been tied because the big dude for Florida, Handlockton, however you say his name, he actually goaltended one play.
Yeah, I saw that play.
And it ended up being a 2-point game, but Houston stretched the lead out. So it kind of didn't it really didn't impact the beginning of the game. But I think
about
Houston
the time
was in
when
the
that
bone.
happened. It's about the time when it happened. That happened 2 minutes ago in the game. So they're going to review it and have all these extra eyes on it.
Right.
But since it happened in the first half, it's just another play. You know what I'm saying? So,
no, because actually Houston was up and Houston was in the bonus like the last 12 minutes of the game or something. So then Florida got more fouls down their stretch, but actually Houston they were benefiting from the whistle. Because I'm looking at it now, you got a foul on Richard, foul on Condon. You're like, but they weren't up that much. And actually, with those fouls, I mean, that's when Houston got the lead up. So it really didn't. I don't think it really played a role like that to even it out. I think.
Well, they said this. They said, well, in the first half, the refs just choked the whistle. They were like going at it, people elbows flying, people falling down. It was like play on. But then the second half, it was like, all right. If you touch me, they were doing like real close. Kind of like in the, I guess the ACC championship, like the guys, man, you couldn't play D. It was just a quick whistle all the way around. Actually, I'm thinking about the Duke when they played Arizona. I mean, every time a guy was posting down low, it was a whistle being blown. Like they had a super quick whistle. They took over the game. In my opinion.
Right. That's fine. I mean, go ahead, Henry. Go ahead.
When you look at looking at the score, I mean, everything played into Houston's favor. As far as the tempo, the score. This was a Houston scoring game. Like Florida's not trying to score 65 points in a total for a game. This is more of a a Houston type. Score, grind it out, and stuff like that. So so that played in into Houston's favor. They pretty much had home court because it was in Texas.
San Antonio, right?
Yeah, it was in San Antonio. So, but yeah, it's just down the stretch. Florida just hit enough. Shots. I mean, even with Clayton, he was I'm looking now, 3 for 10. Someone tells you that Clayton was 3 for 10, you like, no, there's no way they would have won. But they had other people. Richard really stepped up. So 4 for 7 from 3, 18 points. So, but I think at the end of the day, it came down to how Houston managed the last minute of the game. Florida just did a better job, which is ironic because the game before Houston did a better job of managing at the end than Duke. But then they turned around and then they didn't do such a great job of managing in the championship. So
exactly, pressure busted pipes. That's the perfect. We're going to yield them the championship game. Congratulations to Florida for third championship in program history. First time wow, almost 20 years. And their coach became the youngest to win. Because he's younger than Valvano when he won in '83. That's pretty ironic. They beat the team Val that the same team NC State beat, and then Sampson would have been the oldest coach to
Yep.
win, and just couldn't get him over the hump. Whether they say it was coaching or definitely coaching down the stretch. If that could have helped a little more, which I guess it always can. But for one choke, there's another enough for one collapse, one, and relating to Henry's team, those Blue Devils. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I mean, sitting in the bed beside my wife, just shaking, just when the collapse just started, like just trying not to be too emotional. Then, I mean, Houston came through for me. I mean, who you blaming, Henry, for that collapse? I mean, no field goals the last 10 minutes.
One.
Oh yeah, that's right. Flag hit a 3.
In that corner, yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
one field goal in the final 10 minutes.
Well, I mean, it was just, that was just horrible, horrible offensive execution. But still should have won the game, Now the last, I would say, minute and a half or whatnot. It was just bad decisions. Like that inbound play, somebody should have been there like that. That was just a horrible pass in from Zion, and it was just it was crazy because Florida did the same, like Houston pressured them for an inbound pass, and Florida like executed it perfectly at the end, and that was horrible how that was done, So
actually, it was pretty risky because remember he threw it long to Condon, and it went. Remember when
you're right. Yes.
He threw it long, but he had Aberdeen caught it.
But
yeah.
Yeah, he got it in, but then the other guys just quickly threw it over, and that was very risky, and it almost was a turnover there, but it worked out into their favor, but not with us, but I think, some of the issues that we had all year long kind of crept up, and so just getting beat on the boards, that was just, inexcusable. And so, but when we look back, like Malawach, he hasn't been the toughest down there.
No rebounds. He's
tallest, but for you to be 7'2" and come away with no rebounds, that can't happen. You should be dominating down. He should be dominating those boards, and they were just hustling to the boards, and everything like that.
But tell me, he had 0 rebounds.
Yeah,
he didn't have any. I don't think he had any rebounds. Yeah, he didn't have any.
He had 4
rebounds.
fouls, but he didn't have any rebounds.
Wow.
Getting pushed out of the way. Proctor, once again, missing a 1-on-1, as he did with UNC. When the pressure's on, somebody has to be willing to say, okay, I'll step up. If they can't get the ball to Flag, to Nipple, I'll step up. You can give me the ball. That didn't happen. Flag, I'm not mad at him at all. I think he went out the way he should have went out. He went out swinging. He took the last shot. He missed it, but he took it. So yeah. So I think he did what he was supposed to do. But yeah, just came up short, and I don't think we were tough enough in the front court. So that definitely came back to bite us. So Yeah, it was definitely unfortunate.
So
I'm
yeah,
sad to
I
see
like the
Flag
shot
and
Flag
Nipple
took.
go.
I mean, why not come back and finish the deal? I mean, what's the rush?
Oh, well, the number one pick,
Well,
that's what's the
y'all,
rush, so I can't blame them. I can't blame them there. And if Proctor happened to leave, I'll be fine with that as well. So I don't know if he's gonna stay around, but if he happens to leave, I'll be fine with that.
yeah, I don't know how Proctor comes back. I mean, James is out of eligibility, but throwing bad passes. He had that one where he dropped the ball on the baseline. He was about to pass. That was a crucial turnover. I mean, it just but then y'all had good shots too. I mean, Knipple had one, but just got pinned to the glass. Like Houston was just, they were just all over the place. Like no room. I like the shot Flag took. I didn't think the fadeaway was a bad shot. I just think he obviously left it short. I was but I just knew he hadn't. In y'all's 3 losses, I mean, he slipped on one play, turned the ball over against got it right here. He had a late turnover against Kentucky. I remember he tried to spin and lost the ball. I can't remember the one against Kansas. I guess he fell, or he fell against Clemson.
No, Kansas.
He fell
against. What happened was he fell against Clemson. Against Kansas, he passed the ball low. He passed it up. He gave it to Knipple, and Knipple either didn't get off shot or it was a poor shot one. But yeah,
it says
so
the
ball
I
went
looked it
to
up.
Flag, but then Flag passed it to Knipple.
So he turned. Yeah. But how does it? I looked at this. I said he had a turnover against Kansas, and then Knipple missed a 3 on the play-by-play. So if he turned it over, they must have had another chance. Yeah, he turned it over, then they must have had another chance to tie it up again. So when I saw it was close, I was like, is he gonna come through? But he hadn't come through in the clutch all year, so I wasn't as fearful for him making that, because I think that would have gave y'all the lead back, right?
Yeah,
about okay.
Because Roberts put
down 1 when he was posting up.
Yeah,
missed it. They got the rebound and they had to foul because we knew Ballawop wasn't gonna get the offensive board. He had no board the whole game. But it was weird, man. Like I'm looking at his stats. He played 21 minutes, no boards, 4 fouls. And then Malik Brown actually was effective, but Duke went. No, Duke is tight. They go to a 6-man team, and they don't really, use their back.
No, they go 7-8 because the light skinned dude played, Gillis, and Brown played. So and Foster came in for a little while. That's 8 guys right there.
Gillis played 6 minutes.
Yeah, we got 8.
I mean, Gillis, where you gonna play him at?
Yeah, that's what, you bench somebody. You don't play these guys 40 the whole game.
So,
but that's what they did. Crier played the whole game. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I think if you playing a game, you utilize your bench. But I'm not a coach, so I don't.
But they only playing. You playing 4-minute segments. I mean, but what you gonna bring in Gillis? You're not gonna bring him in for Knipple. You're not gonna bring him in for Flag. You're not gonna bring him in for a big guy. Then you need a point guard. So I mean, maybe Proctor.
Yeah, but Proctor played the whole game. That's what I'm saying. But like, I don't know. That's the point I'm making. Like,
what you gonna?
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, it just like, I don't know. I guess in the biggest games, I guess you go to a smaller bench, and that really got the Duke down the stretch. I can look at all these other games. Guys didn't play as much. They're a little fresher, and also Duke ain't been battle tested. I mean, they had a lot of games this year. They already up 20. They in chill mode. Whereas Florida and Houston, no,
they play Auburn close.
I mean, you got early in the year.
I mean, they play Auburn close, beat them.
Okay, so I'm saying they probably really just had 4 or 5 close games, whereas your Florida and Auburn's had 12, 15. Like
Right.
the SEC is a gauntlet. You know what I'm saying? So they had more late game experience, and then now they got a close game, and these guys have
Well, Houston
played
did.
close. Yeah, but these guys have played the whole game too. That's what I'm saying. It's just tighter, and they ain't been in those tight moments. Minutes.
Too. Like, I mean, if you who you bring in, like, yeah, you could have other people play more. Okay, have Gillis playing more, but what is he going to bring to the table? Like, okay, just play the bench just to play the bench. You know, like, okay, you bring in Foster because, you know, he can release somebody, but he's quick. Now, he can't really shoot, but he can get to the hole. He's quick, so he brings something to the table, you know. So Brown, he's good on defense. So, you know, Gillis, you go play him a lot, but what is he bringing to the table? Like, okay, he's not this sharp shooter. He's not going to lock anybody down. So you play him for a couple of minutes to relieve somebody else, you know, and then you know, then he goes back to the bench.
Right. Okay.
I mean, but that's just how. But that's how it goes. You know, so.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, in them other games when y'all are up 20, up 30, yeah, you use the bench more relaxed. You know what I'm saying? So guys play a little more. But yeah, it's just an unfortunate game form, and actually it's like, man, I'm starting to feel bad, man, because they've had all these moments where they're right there. I didn't feel bad against Coach K in Carolina, but they get so far, man, and you know they come up a little short.
But I know Houston had a big game they won at Kansas, but I don't know I don't know Houston's schedule, but obviously they ruled the Big 12. Big 12 got better teams in the ACC, but I mean they played
dominated, right?
Games.
They went 18-1, 19. Yeah,
right. Like Duke dominated, but did Houston ever blow a big lead? I mean, maybe one. Well, they blew one in the championship game. They was up, what, 12, 10? But I mean, obviously you're playing Florida, a good team, a number one seed.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, you are talking about, that's the point. You are talking about all number one seeds. So.
Anybody, any one of those teams could have won it all, to be honest. They were that close.
Right. I mean, it was.
Any one of those teams could have won. Yeah.
I just don't know if they weren't battle tested. I mean, they played Auburn close. I mean, they had Illinois late in the season. Y'all just thrashed them. We thought Illinois was better. You lose to Kentucky, you lose to Kansas, Clemson on the road. I mean, do you have to really win it to be? Well, I guess that gives you a better edge if you win it. Then that shows that you were able to persevere. I mean, I don't know if that really came into play. Maybe it was more of an experience thing, or maybe it was somewhat coaching with substitutions. Or should James have been in the game? I mean, can he not inbound the ball right? Do you take Proctor off the floor because he's not a good free throw shooter? I mean, it's a few things.
Well, even what I'm looking at.
Go ahead, whoever.
Even Houston, they're playing all these close games, man. In the tournament, they beat Purdue by 2 points.
Yeah.
Gonzaga by 5. I mean, Arizona, they won by 8. Baylor by 4. Kansas by 5. So I mean, they're winning games, but it's not as easier, and not as easy as Duke and their schedule and their teams. So I mean, they pretty much cruised to the ACC tournament title. But you have to go early in the year.
I think that's partly due to
the ACC being down. Yeah, I get that. Down.
I mean, they
think
didn't
that's
have
partly due to Houston's style of play.
Right.
Because if you look at Houston's entire schedule, they weren't like just blowing everybody out. They're all year long. They play like, man, it's pretty tight for a lot of their games. it's just their style of play dictates that type of, you know, if they could end up in a lot of close games, and so in the end that could be beneficial, you know, to them.
But with their
not
offenses, it can be risky too. Like it was it was risky in the championship game because the stove is, you get close to the fire, you're gonna get burned. I mean, yeah, you playing tough, but I mean they were up. I mean, they just, I don't know if they didn't attack. I mean, I don't know what it was down the stretch where Florida just battled back. Like you gotta get some buckets. I mean, Crier had the ball. He had a crucial turnover. I mean, I don't know why Sharp was driving. If he's just a sharp shooter, what is he doing? I mean, he pretty much was going nowhere on the baseline. Like, I mean, where you're dribbling right to the defender, and he can reach the 3-point line and play you in the mid range. So I mean, they're young guys. All these guys aren't pros, so I don't want to beat anybody down too much. And I hate when guys be like, I saw some stuff on social media like, oh man, the college game is so bad, or they don't get off a shot. But these aren't the best offensive players in the world. These are like, you have a handful here and there. You obviously see why some guys aren't going to be able to play in the NBA.
No, but I kind of see what the world is saying though, man. You got all these teams, guys just transferring. There's no cohesion in the teams. So this is the product you get. You don't have guys that know what they're going to cut, that have a 3-year success story with the same team, the same coach. And you don't
look
see
at UConn just ran away with the past 2 years. I mean, those final games weren't entertaining. I mean, they just were so much. They blew everybody out one year. I mean, I don't think it's
the tall guy. Then you got a star in Castle. I mean, so it's like, yeah, we're just seeing individual game. You don't see
Klingon. Yeah, Klingon, Castle. They had before that.
But before that, was a free.
Right. But I mean, they brought a few guys back, but I think somebody did transfer in. I don't think it's all.
Okay. I mean, that's my point though. It's like the issue with the transfers. You know how I feel about them. It's like at some point, why, like, the game is kind of messed up. Oh, we got a free agency period every year. Can't really keep up with your team and who's here. You got one star, but he gonna be gone next year. It's like you can't build a nucleus.
What's the difference? What's the difference between that and the one and done? I mean, you seen what Kentucky did. You seen what Duke is doing. They've gotten the Final Fours and Elite Eight still with a few one and done. What's the difference?
The game, the play. The play is different.
Well, these guys they haven't reached their peak performance of basketball yet. You're gonna see.
How can you reach your peak and get better if you consistently changing teams when it get tough, or just chasing money?
Well, you can. No, because you don't have enough time as a college player really to be like a professional the way I can.
Hansbrough had time. Like, I'm just saying, I'm not saying everybody that stays 3 or 4 years at the same school is going to be better, but you can grow when you got a team, right? I mean, when you know the players are going to cut, you hear what coach is saying, it's going to be a better product, and maybe you get boards every game and everything.
But are you saying because I mean, look at Florida; those guys transferred in. Like, I mean, you're saying somebody's going to rise to the top, but it's not.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's not the best product because we just got all this massive transfers.
But it's never. But I don't think even before that you didn't have people were like they don't score enough or guys can't shoot. We've seen numerous from Derrick Rose to Chris Douglas Roberts. Those teams were together. They couldn't make free throws to save their lives. I mean, you see what stuff comes up like, man, that guy I can't believe he did that. Or I'm trying to think of some other examples. Virginia lost one player in 2019 and 2018, Hunter, and they couldn't beat a 16 seed. So Virginia was together, right?
Yeah, but they came back and won the ship. No, they won the ship and then they lost, right? No, they lost first.
Yeah, then they came back in 19.
And then they won the whole thing. Right. Okay. But they stayed together. I mean, you had a great coach too. Who made that happen?
But
he taught you.
But that's, I mean, I think there are numerous kinds of examples. I don't know if it's just if you're talking about the quality of play, like you can get together with a good enough group of guys and we can shoot well enough. Sometimes you're just not going to shoot good.
I mean, but this is like, when you look at, Houston, right? They're pretty consistent. Yeah, they brought in Cryer, but last year they were a number 1 seed, and they lost to us in the Sweet 16. This year they brought in Cryer to bring people back, and they're number 1 seed again. So this time they get to the, to the championship game.
But they kind of stuck together, right? I mean, for the
most part. I mean, they lost some pieces, but they brought in some pieces. And their thing is, for Houston is, we're gonna make you all play our game.
Right.
Which what they do. They make most teams play their game. But unfortunately for them is, if they run into a team that can basically end up outscore them, then that's how they end up losing. That's what happens. Florida has a better offense than Houston. So
right. They lost to
Alabama.
Alabama.
They have.
Yeah.
So, but like Tennessee, they didn't make it far. I'm pretty sure those guys were kind of together. I mean, I'm speaking. I don't know if we're saying two different. I want to make sure we're not saying two different things here. I'm saying people who say enjoy the NBA and don't like college basketball because guys don't make enough shots, or they mess up, or you're really not getting. You don't have to defend a certain way. Like you can stand in the lane, and I think they're saying it from that point of view, like, they can't make consistent jump shots. Where in the NBA, guys have kind of perfected their craft. Like they can just make shots, but they're maybe not playing as much defense. They're definitely not playing every night, unfortunately, because they're always taking games off. So, I mean, are you saying just by the way it looks, the game, or by the way, because they play similar to the NBA, or you just saying the people out there? If I'm asking that right?
Yeah, I'm just saying the people out there, and if we want a better offensive game, you want guys to stay together and kind of learn the system. And I guess it's kind of being twofold, because there are guys that can transfer and can really make a program shoot a whole lot better is good. But at the same instance, you want, I guess, you want the game to be better. And a lot of times when you do have a transfer that's not a star or something, you got pieces coming in, a lot of pieces don't fit. You got guys just riding the bench after the transfer. It's like, man, why were they here? So it's like, it should be more of it should be better offense than what we're seeing. It just seems like a big AAU scrum right now. Individual, I'm gonna do pick and roll, pick and pop, picking this, picking that. And it's like, and they're not hitting, they're not making as many shots unless, like I said, you're a star. Now, Flag, I mean, clearly, every time he pull up, you feel like you about to make the shot. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He's that good. But I don't know, the competition, I guess, I don't see it because I guess it's all in the SEC now, right? They're paying the money's going longer. All the guys are long and tall there, and it looks like the mini NBA. That's why they brought in, 12, 13 teams to the tournament.
14.
Yeah, because everybody transferred there, even Action Jackson, right? I mean, for Carolina, he might go to the SEC. We got to stop being blind, like we don't see it coming, because Kessler went there, right? They're picking all the guys from smaller conferences.
But where are they? But I wish I had somebody. Where are they getting the? I heard football is not funding this, so where are they getting the money from? Like football funds its own. Henry don't they have to fund their own? Like this is pretty.
No,
these football players
boosters, the Mark Cubans, or whoever these billionaires are, they got money to give to the programs, and they're doing it for basketball too.
Yeah, it goes. Yeah, it goes to the athletic department,
right?
A lot of times, and then and then the athletic department determines, who gets the funds of the priority. Is the basketball team gonna be the priority over the football team? So that's a lot of times how that goes when it comes to the funding that goes into the to the athletic department. So
normally it's been
But that's what I'm saying. But if you look at the SEC teams, even though they got all these teams in, you can't point out. I don't know. Clayton Jr. his draft stock went up, but when you look at these boys, you see Flag, you see Ace Bailey, you see Dylan Harper.
And that's a tragedy. That's a tragedy right there. You got numbers 2 and 3 or 2 and 4, however you want to look at it, on the same team, and they lost to KSU and they couldn't even make the tournament. And that's got to be something for the coach.
They don't. I mean, they don't really know how to play together. I mean, it's just kind of. I mean, it's coaching. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into it. Like, now, give it up to Calipari. He kind of mastered it to an extent. He just couldn't. He only got the one championship. But he had guys like, you're going to sacrifice and play defense. We all going to eat like Booker, Towns. Like, they all kind of ate evenly. But they were good, too. I mean, that team only lost one game.
But they couldn't win it all.
Right. But, I mean, at least they got in. Like, at least Calipari's teams were getting in. And people were like, okay, man, we like you getting these guys to the NBA, but Kentucky, I mean, even though it was 2012, like, we won the championship and you getting beat in the first round. So we need we all good with having alumni of the NBA, but are you coaching for here or are you coaching for there?
I mean, he made sure they played well in the league, but as a coach, your job is to win them. And that's something that Coach K did. He had mediocre players, and he won. Even the time where he won the championship was Singler and Dunleavy, but somebody, it might have been Singler.
Butler, Singler and Shire, and Zubeck.
Shire, right? Yeah. It's like, these guys aren't even that good. They won it all. You know what I'm saying? So the coaching propelled that unit. But then go ahead.
I think somebody in that tournament that year, some better teams got beat. Like, things kind of fell a little easier for them. I wish I would have looked back on it, but I think now coaching played a part in it. They had a decent team, but I don't think they. I mean, come on, getting Butler. Somebody had to slip up somewhere. Somebody just got beat. Like, I mean, I don't know who else was. Because that was the year after we won it, so we weren't back. Speaking specifically of Carolina, but I mean, those guys just really don't know how to. They don't know how to play yet, or I don't even know who Rutgers' coach is, but they just happen to. But you getting back to the point, you said the SEC's, they got the talent. Maybe they just struck hot, caught lightning in the bottle for this year, because I don't see I mean, they're giving Broom some props, but a lot of those guys aren't really popping like that. I don't think I think they just had the right mix of guys transfer in, or whoever stayed together, and they just kind of put forth the best basketball in college.
Yeah. Well, another thing is you probably hearing a lot about it because those guys are old.
Oh, yeah.
So from an NBA standpoint, a lot of those guys, like man, these guys are like 22, 23, 24. A lot of this was their COVID year. They and stuff like that. They've been around for many years. So NBA is looking for a lot of times potential, and they're also looking for youth. So if you're like 24 years old, not to say it can't happen. There are some people who come into the NBA and stay 4 years and stuff and don't have drafted high and do really well. But a lot of the people in this year with college, they were older as far as like the SEC and stuff like that. So like Florida's losing a ton of people. So they're projected to be ranked start the season ranked at like 15 and 20 next year. They just won a national championship, but they're losing so much. And they're bringing in a decent class that, people aren't like sold on their ability to keep up, because everybody was, are older. Everybody was older, so yeah.
So how can you even judge that when everybody hitting the portal? You got a team like an Indiana Hoosiers. They lost the whole team except like 2 or 3 guys, or two dudes. So how can you project the next season when you still got people with the portal open you don't really know. I mean, you know the high schools are coming in, but only about the top 20 or 25 make an immediate impact their freshman year.
You just base it on how many 5-stars you're getting. You just base it on who you got signed to come in. That's all you can base it on, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but
you base it on the integration.
But it ain't accurate.
Like, integrating all these people in.
But how accurate is it? If people still transfer, if you still got Powell, let's say Powell, for instance, we look at tomorrow. Hey, I'm about to hit a transfer portal. How can you now rank a team if you now get an additional Powell to your team? So how much sense does it make to rank a team right now?
Well,
I mean, I see what you're saying. You know, at the same time, they're probably thinking, well, okay, what's the chances of you doing great in the portal? Everybody hitting back-to-back years. You know, I mean, that's hard to do in football. You know, so you may have this great portal. On paper, you have this great portal class, but the chances of it being just as successful as it was the previous year, a lot of times, that don't happen. So
yeah, you're gonna have teams that people already know that are gonna do well. Just like all the teams in the Final Four, they all had a story as far as Duke winning the championship. You had your Florida, you had Houston getting super close, like being right there, making championships in the past, but not winning it all. So people saying, "Oh, we got a Houston curse now." So it's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah, I heard of that. Houston curse. Yeah, they get to all the way to the 5 slammer jammer, but they can't win it. I'm like, wow. I mean, that's something. Everybody wanted like a story.
Yeah, they don't have a championship. They got in the 2 finals, and look how they lost. They lost on a shot they thought was falling short, and Lorenzo Charles dunked it in, and then you got a shot to win it. Dudes don't even shoot it. Like it's just heartbreaking. Like
the coach was just standing there like this, like man.
said it was incomprehensible, hard to comprehend. But sticking with Duke, Henry. So that's 10 years now, no championships. Also, no title game appearances, and you guys have had all these guys are going to the NBA. Brandon Ingram, Kennard, Tatum, Bagley, who's probably a bust, Trent, who's decent, Wendell Carter's decent, Zion may be a bust due to injury, Barrett, good role player, Cam Reddish more than likely a bust. I don't know where Vernon Carey is. Paulo, left-handed. Paulo Banchero, he balling, so Mark Williams, he seems straight. Yeah. Maybe too injured to get traded, so we'll see how it goes for him. McCain, who should be coming back, and then you add Flagg, Knipple, and Malawach. I mean, hey man, this is I know y'all made it to the Elite Eight with Zion. Y'all made it to we just got hot and knocked y'all out the Final Four, retired Coach K that year, so y'all were just hoping St. Peter's would beat us or something, or Baylor. We almost lost to Baylor because of blowing the lead. But
we needed that St. Peter's game though. That gave us a nice break. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was. And I mean, y'all gonna stick with this plan, man, of one and dones. I mean, it's not producing. It's not producing even title game appearances.
No,
actually, I think it is producing. Oh, go ahead, man.
I think now let's say there's like a 2% chance that Flagg is gonna come back. Just because his brother, he got a twin brother out there that's going to college. He might want to play with him. Join the 2 sets of twins, the Boozer twins and Flagg and all this stuff, man. And now you're gonna try to get a ring. He ain't no rush to go to the league. He making $5 million. He want to be a kid. That's what I heard.
Flagg is gone. Yeah, he's gone. This is it. Which which is great, and I'm happy for him and stuff like that. He'll be, trying to 24, 25. He'll be going on his a max contract, so that's great for him. He's 18. So, yeah.
But yeah, so Henry, I mean, all those names, all that talent. I mean, I think it's working out great. Great.
I think it's great. No.
Great.
Yes, absolutely. I think things are going great because number one, especially in the in the NIL, because one thing you have here is that you're sending all these people to the league, these high profile players, they're getting these huge contracts. What are they going to do? Give back. So even if they give back what's considered a small percentage to them, it's still going to be more than most people are going to can give. So it's actually, you're pouring millions and millions and millions, into your athletic department, which is a bonus. I mean, Tatum, look at his contract. You can just give a small percentage back, and bam, there's $1 million. Somebody else, bam, here's another $1 million before you,
Kyrie Irving.
Really helping. Yeah, Irving. Yeah, you got now, in this, time of NIL, it's very beneficial because, you got all these guys making this ton of money and they're able to give back. So now, as far as just playing, I like what Shire is doing. Last year he got us to the Elite Eight. Beat Houston to Sweet 16. But lost in the Elite Eight. This year he gets to the Final Four. So he's on the right trajectory. And so things keep going well, which it look like they are and they should be. He should be in the championship game soon. So I like what Shire is doing. I like who he's the teams that he's bringing in. He's building his teams around his top players. So this team was built around Flag. So the next team, next year is going to be built around the Boozer twins, or in particular, Cameron Boozer.
The taller one, right?
Yeah. So this team is going to be built around Cameron Boozer. So I can already see, based on watching Cameron Boozer, the identity of the team, which is going to be more tough because he's definitely he's tougher. So that's going to be probably the identity of next year's team, which is good to me. So I like the way that the team is going and everything. Now we haven't won a national championship in a while, but I think what he's doing there, got the AC championship, Elite Eight, Final Four, and NIL isn't an issue, so he's able to bring in pretty much whoever he wants, So I like where things are going. So, I'm expecting, a championship, pretty soon.
Now, what about losing that coach, that guy Ja, who took that job down in Miami? The defense assistant coach?
Oh yeah, that definitely, hurt, of course. It would have been nice if we would have had him, John Lucas, if we would have had him, through the tournament. But Miami's like, we want him now mainly because of the transfer portal. And how the NCAA have basketball, which really makes no sense. How the transfer portal opens now, like why? There's no rush. Like why not? Yeah, doing the tournament. Like why are you doing the transfer portal now? Like just open up the transfer portal. In mid-April. There's no rush for you to open up a transfer portal. For college basketball. So I don't know. That makes no sense to me.
Excuse me, so your team just lost. How do you feel? I feel all right. I'm about to hit the transfer portal, and we're going to make everything better.
Well, didn't the dude from Michigan do that? He transferred. I don't know if he was playing much, but he transferred before the game, right?
Yeah, and then the coach from McNeese, Will Wade, he's like, hey, we're in the tournament, but I'm gonna sign this dotted line to NC State. I'm gonna go to state, even though our team's in the tournament.
And the coach from Maryland did. Well, he coached to the end, but he was gone. Is that the same guy?
It left quick. Yeah. The crab. They call it the Crab Five. I was like, what the word? But yeah, that dude that traveled when he hit that shot.
Derek Queen.
He took them 4 steps.
But it's all right. I mean, these deals, even with coaches, they're made during the tournament time. Like your team is preparing to play, but you already have a verbal deal to go somewhere else. So it's just, and players can leave, and it's just crazy. And I don't understand that window. So that was a big factor in the Lucas going, because Miami was like, hey, we need him down here for recruiting. So,
and this should kind of happen. This should happen this week too. Like after the thing is over, and then guys, I guess they're finishing out semester, but they're saying, hey, I got classes, but hey, I'm gonna go ahead and transfer to another school. It really don't matter. I got another week left. Month left. I'm gonna go ahead and transfer. That's where my team needs me.
they definitely got to adjust that. But I don't know, man. It seems like y'all might be going down the same road as Kentucky. It's as Mike was pointing out. As we've seen through history, Anthony Davis did it with Kentucky, but the one and done's really not producing. Yeah, you get guys in the league and you get money back, but you're flipping every year, but you aren't getting. How close are you really getting? Look at the champion, like UConn repeated. He didn't have now Castle was a first round pick, and the other guy who plays in New Orleans, now I can't think of his name, Hawkins.
Yeah.
He ended up being a first round pick, I think, and Klingen, the big guy. But I think Cam Spencer went a little later. I know he's in the NBA, but when you look at the champions from Virginia, Villanova, us. Now, Coach K did do it with the 2015 team, but the only guy in the league now is Grayson Allen. Okafor balling overseas or wherever he is, G League, but he's playing like a totally different player. Then I don't know what Justice Winslow is. He might be broken down. He was having some injury issues. But
didn't Duke have a player retired as well?
Oh yeah, AJ. He went to ministry. AJ Griffin played for the Hawks. Yeah, good shooter. So he might. I don't know how long. Maybe he feels led to go that way. I don't know if. He's young, so he ain't like he can come back.
True.
He can come back, or maybe he just doesn't want to. NBA has a lot of temptation. Maybe he just wants to get away from it. That could be a thing too.
Follow his steps or something.
Adrian Griffin couldn't shoot a lick.
He had some defense. He had a little defense. Yeah, he had his defense.
Yeah. Adrian Griffin, yeah.
He was just a D player, not a D and three.
Yeah.
Just a D.
but Henry, I don't. What's your tipping point? 15 years.
The one I think is gonna, happen in a few years, and I wouldn't be surprised if it starts happening more frequently in this NIL era. Because if you can pay to get the players, or if you're willing to pay the players, because you're not gonna have. It's gonna be rare to keep, a lot of players for a team to stay 4 years now, because even if they can't go to the NBA, they can go somewhere else and get paid more, potentially. So you want me to stay here 4 years, and okay, I'm on year 3, and you're paying me $100,000, but here's this other team that's maybe they're not as good. They're not a blue blood, but they say, hey, we'll pay you $300,000. A lot of times those guys are going to go now. Yeah. So just in general, having people around for the long term on one team, I think is going to become rarer and rarer.
Be coming into play? Did y'all hear about that?
You breaking up?
What was that?
Your microphone was breaking up. I couldn't hear you.
What you say, Henry?
Oh, I didn't say anything. That was Mike. He said he couldn't hear you. Because you're breaking up, so.
Maurice. Is he froze? He froze on my end.
Yeah, go ahead. I went to a website. Go ahead.
Now you asked the question, but we couldn't hear you because it froze.
Yeah, we're all coming back. Oh, yeah. I was saying, did y'all hear about the NIL salary cap of like 20 mil or something maybe coming into play? I heard that today. I can't remember where I heard it from, but I don't know if I just Googled it, but I didn't see anything official on it.
Now that would help because now a team won't just, it'll any cap will help because now you can't just get a team with 8-9 stars and they just keep spending money and keep getting better. So it limits. It's like, you know what? There's no money on this team left. So it kind of maybe will disperse the talent a little bit. Yeah, I mean, we could probably look at Florida or Auburn and how they if they didn't have that cap, they probably would have been over. But yeah. But 20 million.
I know I heard from her.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Henry.
Oh, I was just going to say that $20 million, $20 million cap. A cap just it seems like it'd be tough to do, in the NCAA because you have various sports like 20 million may be fine for basketball, but I don't know 20 million for football. You see what I'm saying? Is that like how would that work? Because football now you got more players,
right?
So they'll end up getting paid, of course, less than those in basketball. So it's not like, two different teams and and everything like that. Like with the NFL and NBA, per sport or you put there per sport or per university. Yeah, that's
right.
Yeah.
So
that 20 mil is good for one sport, but for another sport, it's like, man, that's tough.
Right.
That's true. Yeah, I know. I heard it. I might be messed up the number, but I heard it was on Around the Horn. I listened to it today, but it was on Around the Horn yesterday, where it was thrown out there. But I just looked on the internet. I didn't see anything about it because they were saying, well, who would govern it? They would get somebody. They need to do something because I guess it maybe will control transferring or cut down on that, and then keep the competition as even as possible. But
yeah, I mean, I definitely am for having some type of control over it because it definitely is out of control. But they probably will have to start in football since football is the big moneymaker. That's the driving force. So whatever they decide to do, for football, then I guess it'll trickle down to the other sports.
Okay. You see anything, Mike?
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. You're talking about 20.5 million programs, and so it's up to the schools. Programs will have up to the 20.5 million salary cap to work with, but the schools may not choose to spend the full amount. It's likely that most of the money is going to go on football and basketball teams, sports that bring in the most revenue. So it's going to be split basically. In your football, that's what's going to go to your quarterbacks, your receivers and running backs, the O-line, your skill position. O-line, they're not getting. I mean, like 70,000. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to be all about the flashy players. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it says a landmark.
Actually, the O-line get a lot of money, believe it or not. Believe it or not, O-lines. Yeah, like the good O-linemen. It's kind of like the NFL where you have like the good O-linemen, the good defensive linemen. They can command a lot of money.
Your stars, the blindside guys. Yeah, I understand. But that's the tackles. The tackles get paid. The guards.
Yeah.
Not as much, but they all making money. You know what I'm saying? Especially the free agents now. You get free agent on 2025. You test the market. They wait for the highest bidder. So those top linemen get paid. The other linemen not as much.
So with that, people were saying like they didn't like the fact this year. I'm sure when the ratings come out, they're gonna the Rays are going to prove that at the Final Four, Elite Eight level, you want those top programs in there because we want to see the best basketball talent. But they were saying with the transfer portal, it's going to eliminate those mid-major competitions, those storylines as far as that. But I counter with, okay, so those guys are moving up to Alabama, Duke, wherever, Carolina, wherever, the top programs. But won't there still be, just because those guys move on, doesn't that should negate that a team could get high to get lucky? Somebody else would rise to the top, right? Because there should be enough talent. You don't think so, Mike? Enough talent?
No. Think about it. Your Seth Curry, he went to Davidson, right? But if they had this Neil back then, he wouldn't have stepped foot on Davidson's campus because they won't pick him. So even your CJ McCollum.
Well,
right?
Coach K, didn't he want to go to Duke? They said he wasn't good enough. Was it Steph? Was it Steph?
Yeah, Steph. Yeah, he went to Davidson. He went to little college.
He wanted to go to Duke.
They had a scholarship for him. But you mean to tell me now, if he could have went somewhere and got paid, even freaking Georgia Tech or somewhere smaller, that's a top university that's going to pay him $3 million versus you making nothing at Davidson. He's gonna take the money quick. So he's not gonna use it.
But still isn't enough talent to, maybe it isn't as many teams, but like a Drake or a McNeese, say you saying they wouldn't be able to get another guy to replace that guy. Like you don't. No,
I don't see it because you got so many teams.
I agree.
How many teams you
I
got?
agree with Mike because also the not only are you these days are you losing when you lose that top player, but you're losing the coach. So, okay, you would have a McNeese State and a Drake and stuff if they would have lost their top players, but you also lose your coach. So that's a double hit.
Yeah,
and that's what's happening now.
And you got a lot of teams too. So you mean to tell me when all that talent goes to these big four or power four now, when they go to those schools and they're making money, whereas the other schools don't have no $20.5 million cap. It's like it's a whole different division. So I would go make $300,000 versus making $30,000. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Well, they saying some teams gonna try to go to D2 or something. They gonna drop out of Division I because, I guess as opposed to going play a D1 schedule and getting slaughtered. I don't
know. Normally you try to move up the D1, but I guess it's 300 and
right. But if there's but like you said, if they plucking away all the talent, HBCUs wherever, you're like, okay, well, we go to D2, man. We want to compete for something.
I know, right? Then we just give them a disservice. It's like, hey, we don't even want you in our tournament. We'll just let y'all go to the first four, right? Let y'all hash it out there. So if they expand, you're gonna have more teams in the first four hashing it out. Because I don't want to see them in the tournament. You know what I'm saying? So then you probably gonna have all the 6 teams playing each other. You know what I'm saying? Like that ain't cool.
Wow.
Who wants that one game? And then if you win that game like A&T did back in 2002, then you getting blasted by Louisville the next game. Like,
right?
I don't know.
But I guess it's already been going on because look what Holloway did to St. Peter's. He kind of built that up. He went up to Seton Hall, but they were terrible this year. Like the benefit.
You didn't get the players. You need. I don't care how great of a coach you don't have no talent. You can't. It takes a special coach to win with no talent, and he ain't that special.
Right, but he didn't. Like Georgetown is still down. They can't get nobody. I guess he had a good story. I don't think people. Maybe the reality of everything shaking out. Like, okay, this guy going to. Was this this wasn't his first year at back at where was the school I just mentioned? Seton Hall. So this wasn't his first year back there, but maybe it was an off year, but they just they went down in the dumps. Like at least Penny with Memphis, they've been able to kind of like hold it together. They haven't. You don't hear about none of their guys being top guys like that, but they kind of still.
They are. He gets some guys. Well, he's not getting the top 10 recruits, but he getting some players that can score offensively. But that's all Penny care about. He care about offense and dunking on people. You know, he ain't all in the defense.
But I think they play in a weak conference, but they did. But one thing about them on ESPN on Sundays, they always had a game. I don't know what kind of contract they worked out, but they were always on ESPN on Sundays.
But they gotta, I don't know, man. It's like basketball's the ultimate team sport, man. No matter how great you are offensively, man, they gotta D up. That's one thing I really didn't like about Carolina. Like they had all the offensive numbers out there, but when it came to defense, they were just nonchalant.
Well, Carolina's never been a defensive team like that.
That's why they ain't won as much as they. I mean, they try to run the point guard, try to run these cats out of the gym. But then you got Hubert Davis, who got a team that can run and didn't run.
I don't know if he had a team that can. That wasn't the bigs was the problem. The floor balance.
Well, you need to run to offset that lack.
I mean, then if like you said, if you can't get rebounds against Florida, they're getting 2 and 3 more rebounds.
Line one, Maurice.
Hold on 1 second. Here y'all go. Hey. Yeah, we almost done. Okay.
All right, love you, hon. Take care.
Yeah, but yeah. So let's get to Carolina before we wrap up. Since you were saying that, Jackson. Well, Cadeau's already out. He's going to Michigan.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't know where Jalen Washington goes. Trimble's coming back, but the biggest chip is 5-star Jackson, Ian Jackson. Looking at his stats, they were pretty decent. I mean, he was the second leading scorer on the team. He didn't really get minutes like that
because he will start playing defense. He had some hot games. Yeah, he had some hot games. He would drop one game. He dropped 20. I'm like, okay, Jackson, all right. And then, in the middle of the season, he stopped playing defense. His numbers, he started hitting the bench or something. I don't know what happened to him. Then he kind of battled back a little bit toward the end, but
well, I mean, if
you look at his numbers,
right, but he never, you never get a good rhythm like that. I mean, so yeah. I mean, I don't know who this falls on. I don't know, obviously, anybody with inside information, or we're not in the locker room, but maybe obviously playing time may have been an issue. I don't know if he had an issue with the coaching staff but maybe he was told something. You come in, you expected to play, but you don't play as much. Or Powell and Trimble, they're playing better defense. Cadeau's playing better defense. He's your point guard. So RJ Davis is kind of in your way because he has the experience. He's a.
Oh.
You said what?
No, last 5 games for Ian Jackson, 4 points. Can't hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
All right, so your last 5 games, Ian Jackson, 4 points, 3 points, no points. He had 9 against San Diego State when they ran up the score on him. Then he had 1 point against the loss to Mississippi. Like, what are we doing?
So did he
how many minutes was he playing?
Minutes, or he fell out of favor? Did he fall out of the rotation?
17, 10, 17, and 10.
What do you say?
His minutes?
Mm-hmm.
17. He had 17 minutes 3 times.
What were you asking, Henry? Oh.
No, I was saying, like, when Mike was giving those, his stats, I was wondering if he, his minutes went down, he fell out of the rotation. But it looked like he was still getting, decent minutes with 17, 3 times. So, now has he chosen a school, or is it possible that he could come back? Is he trying to get more money?
It's possible he can come back. But because he hadn't chosen school yet, as far as I know. But
hold on, and let me just add this too, Reese.
I don't know. I mean,
so he had a 4-game stretch where he averaged more than 20, 24, 26, 23, 27. So like, what we doing? 18, 21, 20. So he was balling, but then something happened to where he just 6, 19. I don't know.
Were we winning? Did we win all those games?
Yeah. Well, yeah, we were playing the easy schedule. We lost one against Louisville where he dropped 23 points. But we beat Cam. What's CAM? Cam. We beat UCLA. He dropped 24. Beat Notre Dame by 1. He dropped 27. Beat SMU. He dropped 18. Beat State. Beat Cal. But then when we started losing by 1, he only had 6 points and 7 points. I don't know. Yeah, he when he went, we went. Especially down the stretch. So I don't know what happened to him.
But I know he didn't play well his first trip to Cameron. I know he played well against Syracuse. From what I saw, I don't know how he played. I mean, it's just obviously didn't help him.
Yeah.
Did y'all hear me? Did y'all hear me?
It's breaking up on me too. I don't know what's up.
I heard you broke up.
Oh yeah, I said he played well against Syracuse. He didn't play well at Duke. The games you mentioned, but it's just I don't know. The team wasn't constructed right, so I don't know what it got in his way. It seemed like it would be constructed better next year, but he's saying adios.
I ain't worried about him.
I mean,
you're dropping 20 points a game, and then this thing, you can't even. You can't even hit a basket, man. Get out of here.
Well, if he's not playing to get in the rhythm, I mean, he's not on the floor consistently.
He's playing 17 minutes.
But I'm talking about you can't look at the total. You gotta look at when I watch the game, he'll like come in, then it might be a timeout, and he might stay in after the timeout, then he'll come back out. He never like stayed in for long stretches. I don't know what that was all about. Like Powell and Davis and Cadeau, they played longer stretches than him.
They don't play no defense. That's what happened.
Well, I think Powell was in because he played defense and definitely Trimble, but I mean I don't know what it is or if he'll say or just maybe it wasn't what he thought it was going to be. I mean, some guys get to schools and they think it's going to be a certain way and it's not.
Well, this is what I read. Hold on. Carolina's defensive rating was 14.7 points better with Jackson off the floor per CBB analytics. This was one of the most significant differentials in college basketball. It would be unfair to place that blame solely on Jackson. I don't see how unfair it is. It looks pretty obvious to me.
So Mike, I just want to throw this.
He dies on screen like a fly does to a lamp. I'm sorry. My bad. All right. I'm going to stay focused. This man dying on screens, man.
So you just want to get rid of the guy. You want to get rid of him because he's still adjusting to the college game. I mean, you just don't. If he's a scoring punch, I mean, and like this.
Past tense, he was a scoring punch. Not anymore.
I mean, like Henry said, you want some of these guys coming through because if they get drafted high, they can come back and help your program. They can help with those NIL payments.
Well, why he tested the free agency then?
Well, I mean, obviously he didn't like his role, or maybe he didn't start enough. He didn't I mean, like I said, you go there, you think it's gonna be one way, and it's another way. I mean, like Foster for Duke, and he probably thought it was gonna be one way because he was there last year, right, Henry? You've been playing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, Foster been given opportunities, but he hasn't been taking advantage. He wasn't like hitting the shots and stuff. So his his minutes, he actually got benched. So at one point we didn't know if he was going to play again. But he did come back in later in the season, start getting more playing time. But still, he was expected to be a starter, and that didn't happen. So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if he left.
Yeah, that's why I mean
Transfer. I said that
because I'm more surprised Jackson's. I'm more surprised Cadeau's leaving because he started. I mean, yeah, he got criticized. He could have cut down on the turnovers, but he played good defense. His overall percentages were okay shooting, but we still saw the issues with the jump shot. But I was kind of surprised, like he rolling out, like his shooting
You
percentages.
said he had an okay jump.
No, I was saying, yeah, like his
broke.
I'm saying when you look at the overall, I don't know what his jump shot percentages were, but when you look at his overall shooting percentage, it wasn't bad. Like I just had it up. Let me see if I.
But as a college player, though, you need a 3-point shot. He didn't have one. So defense.
I mean, a lot of
you sag off of him because he's not going to beat you.
Well, yeah, today. But if you have better players around him, maybe you can remedy that, like a big guy or enough guys to hit. Like y'all, like Duke got Zion James. I mean, he's no spot up shooter. I mean, he was a pretty effective, reliable point guard. He played good defense too.
Yeah. He was a 2. He was like a 2 guard.
I thought James was the point and Proctor was the 2, right, Henry?
Yeah, that's right.
Proctor,
he was just big. James is just
football player.
So,
running back.
But he played point.
Nick Chubb out there.
But yeah. So I mean, they got I don't know if you know Henry, but we already got well, you know about the V-Star from Arizona, 7-footer, so that addresses the problem maybe of height. And then we got Powell, a 6'6" point from West Virginia, who seemed to be able to shoot pretty well. So maybe the portal will work out this year for us. I mean,
yeah, I think we have an every other year portal success.
Yeah.
So when Stanford came and we got I keep forgetting the man's name. I know his name. Ingram. Yeah, we got Harrison Ingram.
And Cormac Ryan, yeah.
Ryan. Much as I had some my differences with Cormac, they actually came through though. I mean, he actually D'd up. He got boards. He did something that Carolina really didn't do. Like he would rebound, defend, shoot. Like he was that guy. Kind of remind me of Manic. I mean, a little shorter, but he handled his own.
Nah, Manic ain't playing any defense now. I mean, usually we gonna have one guy, whether it's Jackie Manuel or Jawad Williams. I mean, you can look back at the history of the teams. I mean,
yeah, one defender. I got you.
I don't know who played deep with Carter and Jameson.
Toka. I'm saying
yeah, Peachy. We only played that 1 year. Okalaja kind of played, kind of your hustle guy. I mean, so it's gonna be one guy. But Henry, y'all got any transfers, or it's just pretty much looking at the incoming freshmen?
Well, no transfers committed yet, but we are active from my understanding, reaching out to different players and stuff like that. So I guess the further you go along, in the tournament, then it's like, since the transfer portal's on early, and then there's still, other players to come in. So, so it isn't like a whole lot of talk about, a whole bunch of different players and stuff like that. There is one player, where is he from? They talked about that we offered him. I think he's a guard. Oh goodness, is he from Princeton or something? I think he's like the Asian. It's some guy. I know Carolina's going after him. There's a lot of different player. I think he's from an Ivy League school.
Okay.
So we offered him as well. So, but for right now, that's all I've heard. But I'm sure there'll be others that as the days go on that we'll hear about more.
Hey, now I heard this is happening at the handshake lines. Oh, when teams be losing, right? So they're all right now. Good game, all right. Come to Duke, man. Come to Duke. All right. Good game, come to Duke. Come to Duke. Right. I said they're actually recruiting right then when the team about to go home. You go ahead and hit the portal. I'm gonna hit the portal. All right, man. All right. Good game. Good game. So it's starting early.
So is the other Boozer twin, the shorter one, is he a point guard?
Yeah, he's a point guard.
Okay. So they both gonna be starting, maybe.
His name Camden.
Yeah, there's Cameron and Caden.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a chance that that Caden comes in and starts. I like his he's aggressive.
6'4".
And that's the thing I like. Mm-hmm. Like he's more like Proctor is a little more attentive, but he's like, okay, give me the ball, I'll take this shot, type of thing. And that's kind of like what we need from a point guard. And but again, I don't know if he's gonna come in and start or not. But I know his brother's definitely gonna start. But I don't know if Caden's gonna start.
Yeah, because they got Shelton Henderson, 6'6". He got a 98, and then Nicholas. I'm probably jacking his name up. Armenia.
Yeah, I know you talking about
power forward.
Yeah.
They got 4 guys right there.
So Marla watching Knipple, they out too, right?
Yeah, definitely Knipple's going. Malawatch is probably going too, which is good. But good for him. I mean, I think he'll probably do well in the NBA. He's tall, so
I don't know if he's quick enough to defend the pick and roll, man. Once they get him out on the screen, you can't stand in the paint all day.
He's been out there guarding guards, so I think that's one of his, I guess high points or whatever like that.
Strong
they
suits.
See that how he can switch on the smaller players and still hold his own. So the NBA love that versatility.
But if you're a 5, why are you guarding a point guard?
No, it's switching because they run the screen and roll. Remember, they doing the 1-5 screen and roll. Yeah. They always gonna do it. You got to step up, or they gonna shoot, or they just switch. So they just switch because they just scared the trap.
So if you switch,
trapping heads,
kind of hold his own. So of course the NBA loves that, because you're gonna have to be, as a big man, have to be able to stretch out and stuff like that. So
yeah, then he can definitely catch lobs. So that's good. I mean, spoon fed to rim and finish. I mean, that's, if you can do those two things, you can make a lot of money in this NBA. You don't have to post up or nothing, just roll and get spoon fed for a lob dunk.
But check this out though. But in the league, it's 81 games, man. The players
82?
can't hold up. 82. Yeah, these guys gonna get hurt. So he's a good player.
Nobody.
He ain't gonna make it over about 6
Nobody's
games.
playing that many games anymore, so you don't got to worry about that. Nobody's playing anymore. This ain't John Stockton.
Right. So,
NBA.
So who we playing? We playing Charlotte. Oh yeah, do not play coach's decision. Don't play me that game. They actually do that. We playing Portland, San Antonio. All right, I'll play that one. They look at the schedule and figure out if they're gonna play or not.
Right.
So,
schedule losses, schedule wins.
Yep.
They look at the fan like, you know what? You just been chilling on the bench. I'm gonna be out this week, so you gonna play. And yeah, we gonna make that happen.
Well,
might do that in college too. Maybe Ian Jackson should have did that.
No, it's too. It's only 30-something games. That's the one thing I can say I like about the college game over the NBA. When you tune into a game, unless the guy's hurt, he gonna play.
Oh yeah.
The best people gonna be out there. Like
that's right. I agree.
Unless some cat goes over 8 and he got all these turnovers, he might be point shaving. Just go ahead and bench him. Trying to get his prize picks under
At least
8.
you play.
Remember these guys,
At
man?
least
They
in the game, though. At least you'll play.
He gonna play.
He might be play bad, but he'll be out there. We gotta win by we gotta win by more than 12. All right. He'll be out there.
All right, let's call it here, fellas. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, man.
So,
Thanks for having me.
yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks,
Y'all. Yeah, we'll see how it all plays out, man. That's it for the college basketball season. Florida Gators, champs. Who would have thought?
Okay. Yeah,
Who would have thought?
right.
Thought it would be Duke, but yeah.
Maybe next year.
Yeah. History says maybe not. The chances.
We need more than 4 ACC teams in the tournament, though. That's for sure. So hopefully
I'm
this
sure
money thing, hopefully that'll work out and get some better talent.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate y'all, man.
All right.
Folks.
Thank you.
Take care. That's another edition of the All Basketball Podcast. Specifically, Carolina got something to say. Thanks to Mike and Henry for coming on with me to talk about Florida beating Houston to become the 2025 champions and much more. Remember, if you haven't subscribed already, you can find the All Basketball Podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Google, iHeart, or wherever you get podcasts. Once again, thank you for watching. I'm Maurice Dixon. And until next time, peace and be blessed in Jesus' name.
Amen.